Welcome back to another weekly installment or episode of Pondering, a podcast where we ponder your topics. Today, it's just I'm by myself. I am Ben Young, and Tyler is, I'm assuming, still in Pennsylvania, and I have no clue what he's doing. I don't know, probably hang out with his friends. But today, I'm gonna be talking about kind of like just growing up and like I guess life, what I've been doing recently, because you didn't hear from me last week. But yeah, I know this is like a solo episode, so please bear with me. I guess I'm kind of rambling on for, I guess, I don't know how a good amount of time. uh I know Tyler did his episode for like 40 minutes. I don't know if I can possibly go that long. But I guess we'll see however long this takes. Um, Usually I do the audio with Tyler. Tyler does all the software stuff. So hopefully, I mean, I checked the sound like 4 or 5 times. I hope it's okay. But if it's not, please put in the comments below that it's great, or else Tyler's probably gonna beat me up if it sucks and he finds out. But yeah, I mean, now that I'm like sitting here and doing it, Tyler did like a pretty good job just like talking by himself for a podcast. This is tough. This is gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I think Tyler was talking about last week. Tyler talked about social media, and yeah, I guess I'll just give my update on what I've been doing. So when you guys listen to this, it will be Thursday, but I'm recording it a couple days in advance. I as of last week I couldn't film an episode because I was moving or driving down to Florida, and I moved there. My dad and I drove. It was like 18 some hours. It was like it was good at the beginning, but as time went on, it was just like it just kind of dragged on, and like I just wished to be where we were going, like staying for the night. It was tough, but I think the conversations I had with my dad were funny. They were, you know, they were touching, but yeah, overall, the trip down was okay, except for when we hit Georgia. Georgia was quite literally awful. It poured the whole time we were there in the state, so like a couple hours, and on and off. But like we're talking like massive pellets of rain to the point where like it was even hard to see the car right in front of you, and there was a flood warning. But after that was all over, I mean, we stayed at a hotel. I took my dad around to see where I was living. We went and we just like hung around, like my dad and I, and yeah, and it was great. Yeah, it was a good time, and I made many memories with my dad, and yeah, but that's what I've been doing for like this last weekend while you guys were listening to Tyler. But you know, since this episode is about life, or like just I guess growing up, yeah, because I assumed that I was gonna make it about life beforehand, but then I decided not to as I was thinking about recording, because it just made more sense. But I guess my 2 cents on growing up is that like it's tough, and no one really ever talks about it either, because you know, I've never heard people talk about it, and it doesn't really seem like people my age talk about growing up, and as I got older, like no, as when I was younger, no one really talked about it either. I don't think so, or I don't really remember. But yeah, growing up is it's tough, but I guess people I didn't really realize that how hard it was gonna be, because I guess like everyone just assumed that like growing up was gonna be fun, it was gonna be easy. I mean, like you go to high school, or actually you go to middle school, you go to high school, you graduate, you go to college, you get your bachelor's, and then you do higher education, or you find a job. I mean, you go to work, and then get married, or don't get married, have kids, don't have kids, make a bunch of money, become poor, do whatever you want with your life. But I think when I first really thought, like, when growing up really just hit me was, I guess when my brother moved out for college. When he was 18, I think I just started either eighth grade or I think I started eighth grade. And, it was hard for me. I did a lot with my brother. I did a lot of dumb stuff with him. Like, we'd always hang out, do a bunch of random stuff. And, yeah, it was always a good time. I spent a lot of my time with him. I played games with him, as any older brother and younger brother would do. And, we made a lot of memories. My sister and my brother and I, we were like the trio. I mean, we did a bunch of dumb stuff all together. And yeah, it was always a great time. But then my brother graduated college, which is great for him. I remember we had, like, it was the first time anyone ever graduated from my family, and it was a good time. Uh, and no, not graduated, but I guess my sibling, because he's the oldest. But I remember one of the last weeks before he went off to college. I remember people were asking him if he was excited to go. He's like, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. But I still remember I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm super nervous for him to leave, because I don't know, like, it will suck without him. And I was really upset because me and my siblings are, I would say, we're quite close. Or I would like to think we're quite close with each other. But yeah, I just remember moving him in. I remember just like dreading the whole thing, because I was like, I'm gonna miss him a lot. And I said bye to him. I remember walking out with my family, my sister, and it was pretty upsetting. It was pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie. I went home and I was like, man, I feel like the world is gonna end. And you know, it would suck, because I remember I went to school, I went home, I hung out with my sister, but it just didn't feel right, because it used to be like, for all my life, it was three of us, but now there's only two of us. It just felt off. And I remember, I was very sad. I missed my brother. I went from seeing him every day for, like, I don't know, how old are you when you're in eighth grade, like 13 or 14 years, to like seeing him every couple months whenever he would randomly come home. Yeah, and I really missed him. It sucked, and I was pretty upset with, I guess, how things were at the time, because I was like, I hate growing up, because, like, I hate life. I was like pretty upset at it, because I was like, it took my brother away from me, and now he's like out and I don't even see him anymore. But I guess that's just what growing up is like, what life is like. As I wasn't mad at him for leaving. I was just kind of like upset with the situation of, I wish we could be there too. But as time went on, things got easier for me. I didn't miss him as much. It just got more normal. And as I went through high school, I would see him. I would get used to just seeing him every so often. It was fun. I mean, like, he called me. We played games online. We play, I don't know, Smash, or I don't know what we did. We played some Apex. Yeah, it was good. And I'd always see him during the summers, and it was always great again. But yeah, I mean, as time went on, I guess the roles got reversed, and I left him, and I'm here now in a different state, so far away from him, and he's at home, but he's working. And I just I feel kind of bad. I remember when he left, it felt sucky, so I was kind of like, I don't want him to feel that way. So yeah, I guess this is kind of like what life is, because you grow up and you leave your house and do something else. But I really wish I could take everyone with me and do what I want to do while they're still close. But I hope to get a degree and move closer to my family again, or have them move closer to me. Yeah, we'll see, but I definitely want them to be close to me. But yeah, I mean, that's my instance of whatever I was talking about. I don't really remember. But yeah, and oh yeah, that's grown up, yeah. And I guess that was it. I mean, that was my only real instance of growing up. And then I guess when after I finished high school, my senior year, things really started to hit me for growing up. Like, I thought I had to apply for college. I had to think about, future life ahead of time, how my future would plan out, like what degree I wanted, and what, like, how much I want, like, what career I would go to, and how that would benefit me financially, but also like how much of a burden school would be. Um, yeah, and I remember just thinking about where were all those days where I kind of just like sat at home after going to school and just like doing my homework and then hopping on the games with like my friends and my brother, not really caring about what is next to come other than just we just went to school, we waited for summer. I remember as a kid going through middle school and stuff, you don't really care about the weekdays. You just hope for the weekend so you can hang out and do whatever you want, sleep in, and then you just wait for the summer, the holidays, and yeah, I mean it was nice. But yeah, senior year, after graduating that summer and going into the first year of college, I was like, I definitely miss like when you didn't care about a lot. Not like I had to care about a lot then, but like, or now, but like, yeah. But now I have to, like, I don't know, I think about a lot more. I think about a lot of different things, but I guess that's just, I worry about a lot more things other than just like when the next holiday will be, when when I get to hang out with my friends the weekend. There's a lot more stuff, but I guess that's just all part of growing up. But yeah, um that's what I've been thinking about growing up. I don't remember particularly if I told you what we were doing this past week. I'm pretty sure, because I'm not gonna lie, this isn't the first time I recorded it. The first time I recorded this episode, it sucked. So I had to delete it and I had to redo it. So this is the second time you're listening to this. Um, but speaking about me leaving and growing up and stuff, um, something I wanted to talk about, our main point was kind of like not leaving things unsaid. Uh, I recall, like, I had a lot of difficulty, I would say, leaving my family, going to move down here, and it's not the first time that I spent time away from my family. But just something about being like physically far away and not being able to see them if I really wanted to is tough. Uh, that's like the first time it ever, not the first time, it's happened once, but you know it's hard. I still haven't come to grips with the fact that I basically live here now. Um, Little things still remind me of my family, like my brother would or like something would happen and I would be like, man, my brother would really think that's funny, but I would just have to text it to him. um but yeah, stuff like that. And so like talking to him when he gets home from work. I remember when I would just wait for him to come home from work at like 2:30 and we go hang out afterwards or we play games. But yeah, I mean that sucks. I can still play games with him, but I just won't be able to see him. But yeah, anyway, not leaving things unsaid. I I had a hard time, and one night I was looking for my dad because I was gonna tell him I was leaving to do something for a little bit, and I walked up to him and I told him that I was really gonna miss him, and that leaving was gonna be really hard, and I told him I was sorry, for leaving, because I knew he was gonna be sad, he would miss me, but I told him I was sorry because I wanted to go pursue something that I wanted, but at the same time, I didn't want to leave my family. So it was kind of like a double-edged sword. But, I hugged him. I told him that, I was sorry and that I would really miss them. It'd be really hard for me. And he said he told me that he's happy. He told me that word for word. He said that he was happy that I understood, and I think that was something that was so relieving to hear from him, because looking back on it, I assume from what he said, he thought I didn't care. Like, my father thought that I wasn't really affected on just like leaving them. I think that he felt that I was just ditching them, and I was like, I don't really care about if I won't see them again, or like how long it would be until I see them. But I'm just glad that I told him that I was really gonna miss them, and that like it like bugged me a lot. And it just made me feel so relieved to like kind of like not like patch things over, but like make sure we're all on the same page. And it's not usually something that I would do with other people, especially my family, like saying things that you know emotionally, because I guess I don't know how it is for other people, but my family isn't that emotionally. We don't talk about our emotions that much. But I kind of was just like, yeah, I have to tell him. Like, I told him, like, I just was like, it's gonna be so hard. I'm like, I'm gonna miss everyone. Like, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss my mom, my sister. He told me that, yeah, he was like, he's happy. But I guess my advice is just kind of like, or the reason I'm talking about is just like, I want other people to just, just say things to other people, and like, just say things to people that I guess you normally wouldn't do. I guess I stepped out of my comfort zone, if you will, to do that. Um, yeah, it just was so relieving, because God forbid, I'm thinking now, like, if I didn't say that, it would be like I would feel awful, like being here and knowing that he thought that. I guess I don't even know if he thought that I didn't care. I just assume it from what he said, but either way, I think it's good that I said that. And like, yeah, I mean, normally, if I felt a certain way, I wouldn't really say anything to anybody, um, or not like my family. I just kind of like, you move on. But as I was leaving, getting ready to leave and saying goodbye to everybody, I made sure to, say how I really felt, and have an honest conversation with not only them, but like, myself. And I think that it's a good thing to do with other people, is just kind of like say what needs to be said, and make sure you say what you want to, and I guess patch everything up with someone before, I don't know, before you're not friends with them anymore, if before you don't see them ever again. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not trying to say like that was. I'm not sure when the last time I'll ever see my family is, but like, I just want to make sure if anything does happen to them, I want them to know that I do care about them. I do miss them a lot. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I had to say about that. And then something that also relates to just growing up is saying goodbye is absolutely awful. Like, it is one of the hardest things I think I've ever done with my life, in my life, I guess. Um, it's just something so like innately like gut wrenching. It like such a like natural response to saying goodbye to someone that you truly care about. um, I could remember one of the earliest times that I had to say goodbye to somebody was actually my cousin. My cousin lives up in Erie. He actually was on an episode. Go back and listen to that. No clue what we talked about. I totally forget. But um, yeah, I remember when we were younger. He lives all the way up in Erie, and we live in Greensburg, which is about like, I don't know, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours maybe away from him. And whenever we would visit, we would always have a blast. Like, we had a great time. Our trio became a quadruple, yeah, like a quad of kids. I mean, like, we had such a great time. It's like it was like he was one of our siblings basically, and it was always a great time. And then whenever we'd stayed at his house for like a week or so, and we hang out, and then my parents would be like, all right, it's time to go. We would get absolutely destroyed. Like, it was always awful saying bye to him. Like, everyone was always crying. There was always tears. Someone would always be crying. And yeah, I mean, growing when I was younger, saying goodbye to him absolutely sucked. But as I got older, I didn't, for the most part, I didn't really have to say goodbye to anybody, um, except for uh, recently when yeah, recently whenever I said goodbye to, like, my high school friends whenever we went to college, saying goodbye to them wasn't as hard, but it was very strange not seeing them or hearing from them as often as I would. And now just so recently saying goodbye to my family is absolutely awful. It's gut wrenching. Um, going from seeing them like going from seeing them all the time and not, like, I think the longest time I didn't see my parents was about, or my family was about a week, and going for longer than that is very strange. Um, I still haven't fully grasped the situation that I am, where I am living about 1,100 miles away from them, and that, like, if I really wanted to go see them, I would have to buy a ticket, air flight home. And so, yeah, it hasn't really hit me that, like, I am living here. But yeah, saying goodbye to my family and just people that I've been around and made so many memories with my whole life is sad. I still, like, miss my family so much. Every time I think about them, makes me sad, or something something will pop up and, like, oh make me sad. But I guess that's just how life is. How moving not moving up, but like getting older is like, which is kind of sad. I wish it wasn't like that, but maybe it's just my experience. I have no clue. Like, thinking about with other people, I mean, they're still at college, close to of their family, I guess, and that they're gonna do that. But I guess eventually they'll have to move away anyway to go do something else, or they could just live at home. Don't really know, but either way, I guess that's just how it is. But yeah, I mean, saying goodbye sucks. And something that I remember talking about with Tyler was Tyler said that it's like, saying goodbye was really hard for him when he was going to college last year. Like, saying goodbye to all his friends and stuff was hard. And I was like, yeah, it is awful saying goodbye to people, because, like, if you don't keep in touch, you don't really know when the next time, like, depending on how good or how close you are, if you don't put in the effort, or if one person doesn't put in the effort, you guys kind of fade away. And so, yeah, I guess my what I'm saying is that I don't want to fade away from my family. Like, I'm trying, like, pretty hard to talk to them, and, like, I want it to be like, whenever I get back, I'm not surprised by, like, oh, maybe they, like, change furniture or, like, something small, because I want to know, I want it to be like I'm still there, but not physically. Yeah. But anyway, I guess the last thing I have to say is I guess something my uncle told me before I left. A little backstory: my uncle and my aunt's mother's not doing the greatest. I hope she's doing okay, but I'm not sure. I called my uncle, and I was telling him goodbye, that I was going to be leaving to go to school, and I asked him how my aunt was, how she was holding up, because her mother wasn't doing the greatest. And he said that she was doing so, and I said, okay, that's good. And I told him, I was sorry to hear that she was doing pretty bad. And my uncle told me, he said that it was okay. He gets it. And, like, he said that, that's just how things are in life. Like, that's just how life is. And that hit me, like, pretty hard. I was like, he said that in such a normal, like, accepting tone, that I felt really awful. Like that, I guess that just is how life is, and that really struck with me because it felt so like it just felt like I laughed whenever he said that, because I was just like, wow, that really like makes me think about my own life and how like leaving my family is just like, that's just how life is. And like the way it sucks is just, I guess, how it is. I'm not sure if everyone deals with it, but I don't know if I said earlier, but maybe it did. Oh, if I say it again, then it will seem bad on my end. But no one really talks about growing up. Like, no one really talks about how it sucks to say goodbye to people. And like, I guess in my generation, in my life, no one really talked about like saying goodbye to people and like moving on with your life and like maybe not seeing those people again. No one really talked about that, to my knowledge. I think it just seemed kind of like, oh, you grow up and like everything will be good, like you go to school and junk. But yeah, I really hope I didn't say it, because I said it once, but I don't remember when, which is bad. Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, that's what my uncle said. That really struck with me. And like, I guess, yeah. But yeah, that's really all I have left to say about just like growing up. Yeah, growing up is tough, but like, it's very rewarding. But yeah, I guess I'm not even that old, so we'll see what life has more in store for me. But yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for today, this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. This episode's a little bit shorter. It's like half of Tyler's, but yeah, that's literally all I have to say. So thank you again for listening. Tune in next week, where I guess Tyler and I try a different format of episode. We'll see. Maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll do something else and we'll surprise you guys. But yeah, thanks again for listening. Go text or talk to that person that you haven't in a while. I hope I can restore a friendship or something. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess thanks for listening. Keep being you. And yeah, we'll hit you guys next week with another episode. And sorry if the audio sucks, or like if something's off. I'm trying pretty hard here. And oh, I didn't mention, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. But in true like beginner startup small YouTuber type deal, I am sitting in a closet recording this. So yeah, do with that what you will. The days of what's it called? The days of luxury recording booth is over. And yeah, I actually have to start. I have a meeting tomorrow after, or I guess it would be on Wednesday. Well, it would be a day before this comes out. So yeah, on Wednesday, about making a new sponsorship, so I don't have to sit in this closet anymore, and I can sit in a recording booth instead and do it. But yeah, enough of that. Yeah, see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. And as someone once said, kumbaya, my lord. That's all I got. All right, thanks for listening.